France take on South Africa this Sunday in what is set to be an absolute Rugby World Cup classic. The French will have plenty of home support getting right behind their team. I'm sure the South Africans will have their fair share of travelling contingent as well, which will hopefully create a really, really good and intense atmosphere with a Rugby World Cup semi-final place on the line. Now in today's video, I'm going to be running through my take on a combined 15 between the two sides. As always, please do let me know your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree with my selections. There's plenty of world-class players in this team, so some of the selections will be really down to what your preference is and how you perceive their abilities. So look, I'm going to start off in the front row. Now at loose head prop, this is probably one of the hardest positions to pick. Cyril Baille is, I've previously stated, he's the best, if not one of the best front row props in the world. He's had an injury, so it's very difficult to know exactly where he's at, considering he missed the All Blacks game and hasn't had any big games to play in since. Kitsoff has played very well in the defeat to Ireland. He played well, so I'm going to just edge towards Kitsoff based on the fact he's in form and Cyril Baille's coming off of an injury. And then at hooker, Mbonambi, he's been relatively impressive. I mean, you've had the huge injury to Malcolm Marx, which has really dented the Springboks hooker, but Mbonambi he's a very good replacement. As far as replacement hookers go, it's his real quality. And look, he started plenty of games when Malcolm Marx was on the bench. So look, the Boks are blessed in the hooker department. Malvaka coming in for Marchand, who's also been injured. So both teams suffering big blows at hooker going into the World Cup. Malvaka stepped up well, struggles a little bit at line-out time. He's probably not a specialist in terms of his throwing, but he makes up for that in some really strong carries around the park. I'm just going to edge towards the South African on this occasion based upon his ability at the line-out. And look, he can really get on the back of a driving maul and he knows exactly when to burst off the score. So just edge slightly towards Mbonambi. And tight head, I'm going to go for Malherbe. Now look, it's not a massive surprise that I've gone for an all South African front row. Look, if Marchand was there, you'd probably edge towards Marchand. And then if Cyril Baille was in sort of full form and had been playing plenty of games, you'd probably edge towards him. So look, the French have been rather knocked with injuries there. Moving into the second row, this is where things get interesting. You've got Woki against Etzebeth and then Flamont against Mostert. Some real good matchups here. I'm going to obviously go for Etzebeth, considering he's the best lock in the world. He's been playing some unbelievable rugby. He's just at the top of his game for so long now. Ball carrying wise, defensively, really, really strong. And then when it comes to the line out, there's not many better. He gets up so well. And look, he's an absolute specimen of a man. And he'll be a huge part of the Springbok success in this World Cup. And Cameron Woki, look, he's probably underperformed slightly. I mean, remember the Uruguay game where he made plenty of errors at the line out, but look, he's a decent, really decent player. And look, he's unfortunately up against Etzebeth, so not many players would win that battle. Number 5, Flamont against Mostert. I'm just going to edge towards Flamont on this one. Flamont was exceptional in the Six Nations. Remember, him against England was unreal. Mostert has been playing some real quality rugby of late. Look, he doesn't get as many headlines as Etzebeth, but he gets through just as much work, and he's a real phenomenon in terms of as far as second rows go. Got good skill set and gets through so much work. So look, Flamont edges it probably with just a few more skills than Mostert, probably a little bit better handling. You can see and identify space really well and has definitely got the edge on pace. So I just edge towards Flamont. In terms of the back row, Cross against Khaleesi. I'm going Khaleesi. Who knows how Khaleesi has made it back fit for this World Cup after what looked like a devastating knee injury. He's made it back and he's playing some of the best rugby I think we've ever seen him play. Look, he was instrumental in the 2019 World Cup and he's been incredible in this one so far as well. Jos is a very good player as well, got a really good all-round game. I just do edge towards Khaleesi on this one. Now, Olivon is probably one of my favourite flankers to watch. I love how he traces up the middle of the pitch and offers sort of the same way as a Dupont at scrum half would do. Offers an inside ball to any line breaks. Really, really good at that. When it comes to the line out, very secure under the line out ball. And look, he's a very good all-round player. And it's very unfortunate for Olivon that he's come up against Pieter-Steph du Toit. Now, Pieter-Steph du Toit was the 2019 Player of the Year in the last World Cup and is just a ridiculously huge and powerful flanker who can do so much on a rugby field. So look, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to edge to Pieter-Steph du Toit on this one, despite how good Olivon is. And I'll probably say the main thing that edges it is the ball carrying. But look, Olivon, I would completely understand if someone selected Olivon. He's just a really, really classy rugby player. At number 8, I think you can look no further than Gregory Aldrit. Phenomenal player. Look, his work rate is ridiculous. He gets through so many carries, so many tackles in a game. He's really the talisman in that France pack. Jasper Wiese, playing for Leicester Tigers and South Africa, obviously. A real quality player as well. Very, very good at the ball carrying, very tenacious, very aggressive, very in your face. But look, I just have to edge towards Gregory Aldrit. Probably the breakdown work of Aldrit edges it as well. And he's just all-round game, I'd say, is just a little bit better. Now moving into the back line. Now look, I didn't know whether to write Dupont's name down or not. Look, I've seen some posts saying that he's going to be fit and available for the game. So look, who knows? He's obviously come off what was a horrible cheekbone fracture, and he's had that operated on. And look, he looks to be fit and raring to play. He comes up against Faf de Klerk, who's in his own right a very, very good rugby player. Both very intelligent. De Klerk loves a snipe as well. And look, you have to edge towards Dupont, or probably considerably towards Dupont, just because he's just phenomenal. Like, I saw a video of Ronan O'Gara mention that he's got like the IQ of a fly half, and the handoff of a back row or a full or a front row, the pace of a winger. He's just really is one of the most complete scrum halves I've ever seen. So Dupont gets the nod for me there. And then when we come to fly half, this is where things get a little bit questionable. Pollard, look, he's the ultimate test match fly half, isn't he? He can kick his goals exceptionally, puts the ball in the air, puts the ball in the right parts of the field, can kick to territory very well. Look, Pollard's come off an injury, and in the same way I did with Cyril Bay, I'm not going to go for the player just returning off of injury, because it's very difficult to tell with no test matches played since their injury. It's quite hard to give them the nod. So I'm going to go for Jalibert, who has been ripping it up this World Cup so far. His ability to see space and execute the skills required to get it to the space is just absolutely unreal. But if Pollard finds his feet and has a very, very good game in this match, then for sure you could probably select Pollard as well. Moving into the centres, you got Dante against Diolande, the battle of the powerful centres. These two are just absolutely jam-packed with just sheer horsepower and muscle. They'll have big roles in terms of getting their team on the front foot, getting them over the gain line, and it'll be very interesting to see how these two get on. Now look, Diolande has been one of the most impressive players in the last World Cup. I just have to edge towards Jonathan Dante in this one. Look, for what he's done for La Rochelle as well, his ability to just generate that front foot ball and just go over players and break tackles from players which are massive tacklers themselves. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, very, very powerful. Number 13, look, this is a very difficult one to pick. Ficou's getting on now a little bit in age, but it's just so valuable in terms of leadership to the French side. Jesse Creel played a bit of wing as well, very, very fast, very explosive. Look, I'm really not sure which way this one's going to go. I'm maybe just going to edge towards Jesse Creel for the explosiveness and the power, but it's completely up in the air. Obviously, the Boks are missing Lecanio Am, which is a big, big blow to them, but Creel's a decent player in his own right. But yeah, the defensive work Ficou does is something not to be overlooked. He's a very, very knowledgeable and astute defender. Moving into the back three, where we've got heaps and heaps of pace. Look, some of these wingers and fullbacks have got absolute wheels on them. On the left wing, I'm going to have to go for Cheslin Colby just over Villiers. Colby obviously had a wonderful 2019 World Cup, and Villiers is in some quality form off the back of the Six Nations. Villiers can definitely find the try line, and he knows exactly how to get there, but you could say the exact same for Colby. Villiers actually has got some very good breakdown work that's largely underrated. I do enjoy it when I see a back go above and beyond and really get their head stuck into the dirty work of winning turnovers. But Colby just edges it for me. Experience under the high ball, I think he's just slightly the more complete player. Now, on a lot of these videos, I often leave a choice down to the comment section below. And for this video, I'm going to leave the Penaud versus Aranza debate. This one, I simply have no idea who to circle. You've got the footwork and the sort of electric nature of Aranza, and you've got the skills and the chip and chases of Damien Penaud, and the ability to just find the try line is almost unrivaled. Look, this one could go either way. aerially, I'd maybe edge it towards Aronson, although Penaud's exceptional in the air. It's a very, very tough one to decide, so I'm going to leave this one to the comment section down below. If I had to edge either way, I'd probably edge towards Aronson, but it's by 0.5%. Like, Penaud's phenomenal as well. And then at fullback, probably not quite as hard of a debate, but still one in which takes a lot of thought. Ramos against Willemse. Willemse in the Ireland Test match really stood out as a real quality player and looked like a real spark to that Irish team and threatened to break the line on multiple occasions. And then you've got Ramos, the player in which is so instrumental in keeping that scoreboard ticking for France. I'm going to edge towards Thomas Ramos because, well, it's so close. But I just think in terms of what Ramos can bring in terms of his place kicking, it's something that Willemse struggles with, his place kicking. So look, I just edge it towards Ramos, especially in a game in which the kicking is going to be so crucial, and Ramos really specialises in his right boot, and clearing the lines for France is going to be vital in this game. Not to take anything away from Willemse, who is in his own right a phenomenal player. So that is my 15. You can see in the forwards, mainly South African dominated, and then in the backs there's a good few French players in there as well. This game is one in which could really go down to the wire, and I'm very excited for. Please do let me know your thoughts on my selections in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to discuss them all with you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.